Violence has broken out ahead of a white nationalist rally in Charlottesville, Virginia, forcing city, county and state authorities to declare a state of emergency. Police have now declared the gathering an unlawful assembly and have moved in to disperse the crowds. The state police have been deployed, with riot police and the National Guard waiting in the wings. Officials were forced to issue the emergency declaration almost an hour before the rally was scheduled to begin. Right-wing protesters clashed with counter-demonstrators before the Unite the Right rally against plans to remove a statue honoring Confederate General Robert E. Lee from a Charlottesville park. Pepper spray, used, reportedly, by both counter-protesters and those attending the rally, filled the air. According to local media reports, bottles were thrown and a number of fist-fights broke out. Charlottesville Mayor Michael Siner said he was disappointed the white nationalists had descended on his town and blamed President Donald Trump for inflaming racial prejudices with his campaign last year. He said, "I'm not going to make any bones about it. I place the blame for a lot of what you're seeing in America today right at the doorstep of the White House and the people around the president." Mr. Trump put out a tweet condemning violence and hate, although he did not specify that he was talking about the white supremacists, attracting criticism on Twitter. Initially there was only a small police presence around the groups of protesters. Earlier in the day apparent militia members were filmed marching through the streets armed with assault rifles and wearing tactical gear. Other demonstrators were heard to chant the Nazi-linked phrase "blood and soil" as they passed through the streets. And on Friday night neo-Nazi protesters brandishing flaming torches descended on the University of Virginia, brawling with counter-protesters and throwing Nazi salutes. The state's governor, Terry McAuliffe, said on Friday, "Many of the individuals coming to Charlottesville tomorrow are doing so in order to express viewpoints many people, including me, find abhorrent." He urged people to stay away and deny those ideas more attention than they deserve. The clash is the latest in a series of confrontations in Charlottesville, situated about 100 miles from Washington, D.C., voted to remove the statue of General Lee. Celebrating the Confederate cause is a highly inflammatory issue in the U.S. because the Confederate States supported slavery. In May, a torch-wielding group that included prominent white nationalist Richard Spencer gathered around the statue for a nighttime protest, and in July, about 50 members of a North Carolina-based KKK group traveled there for a rally, where they were met by hundreds of counter-protesters.